Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette was a whirlwind of drama. Bachelor Nation members know how to take host Chris Harrison's promises of the most dramatic season ever with a grain of salt, but this time he was hardly exaggerating. After ending things with Tyler Cameron and getting engaged to Jed Wyatt, Brown surprised everyone by dumping Wyatt and asking Cameron out during the final episode. But is Tyler ready to rekindle their love? Cameron was visibly shaken when Brown stopped him mid-proposal and confessed that she'd fallen in love with Wyatt. Despite his own heartbreak, however, Cameron made sure to let Brown know he only wished happiness and success for her engagement and future with Wyatt. Of course, as Bachelor Nation learned during the second night of the After the Final Rose special, Brown and Wyatt's engagement was far from successful, due largely to Brown discovering that Wyatt was in a relationship during his time on The Bachelorette. When People magazine broke the news of Wyatt allegedly having a girlfriend while competing for Brown's heart, many fans found it difficult to watch Wyatt woo the Bachelorette with 4 chord tunes without wanting to jump inside their televisions and warn her of what was to come. If everyone else could clearly see that Cameron was the perfect choice for Brown, why couldn't she? As they say, hindsight is 20/20, and it seems Brown finally has the clarity she'd been searching for all along. Speaking with People, Brown explained why she chose Wyatt over Cameron, saying, "He was the scary choice, and Jed was more familiar. In that moment, choosing Wyatt felt like the safest, best decision I could make." Generally speaking, when someone accepts a marriage proposal from another person, it's safe to assume they feel pretty confident in their decision. In the real world, a person usually has more than a 2-month time span to decide if they want to spend their lives married to someone whom they've essentially just met. Needless to say, the Bachelor franchise is far from an accurate representation of the real world. With so much pressure to find a soulmate in such a short amount of time, it should come as no surprise that some leads remain conflicted about their decision long after filming has wrapped. In an interview with People, Brown revealed that she fell in love with both Cameron and Wyatt, which led to massive amounts of uncertainty and confusion, even after accepting Wyatt's proposal. She explained, "I think that was the hardest part of the process, is I didn't feel I was done with Tyler. I kept trying to tell myself, you're 100% sure, but now, being honest, I don't think I was 100% sure ever." When Brown broke Cameron's heart just as he was ready to get down on one knee and propose to her in Greece, the devastated contestant didn't question the Bachelorette's decision, and he didn't seem to hold any ill will toward her either. Instead, while the two exchanged tearful goodbyes, Cameron told Brown that he would always be cheering her on from the sidelines. While Cameron and Brown reportedly saw each other for the first time post-breakup on the second night of the After the Final Rose special, the former football player took to social media several times throughout Brown's Bachelorette season to express his unwavering support. From rushing to her defense when Bachelor Nation alum James Taylor criticized her behavior on the show, to praising her on Twitter for being, quote, "so damn powerful," it seems Cameron certainly held up his promise to remain Brown's #1 fan. Cameron might have handled his relationship, breakup, and possible reconciliation with Brown like a total pro, but according to a July 2019 interview on The Viall Files with Nick Viall, Brown was only Cameron's second serious girlfriend. According to Cameron, his previous relationship lasted for 1.5 years and ended when his girlfriend broke up with him shortly after the aspiring football pro was cut from playing for the Baltimore Ravens. However, Cameron doesn't blame his ex for her decision.
I was taking so much from my ex, and because she was trying to give so much to pull me out of that hole, and then at the end of it, she broke up with me. And
Cameron admitted to Viall that he wasn't, quote, as good to his ex as he could have been, and that reminded him of the way some contestants treated Brown.
I saw a lot this season when Hannah was like, so many people were taken from her and not giving back to her.
While Cameron and Brown's future together, should they choose to give their relationship another try, remains unknown, one thing is crystal clear. Cameron's admiration of Brown hasn't faltered following their emotional split in Greece. Speaking to People, Cameron confirmed that he still thinks the world of Brown. He said, "I will always love and care for that girl, and I will always be her biggest fan and biggest supporter." In his interview on The Viall Files, Bachelor Nation alum Nick Viall asked the fan-favorite contestant about where his feelings for Brown stood following their reunion on the After the Final Rose special.
I value and cherish our relationship and our friendship, and It's something I don't want to just like cut off cold turkey just because it didn't work out.
The second night of The Bachelorette After the Final Rose Season 15 special was largely focused on Brown ending her engagement to Wyatt. However, the last half of the live show finally saw Brown and Cameron reunite on stage. The Bachelorette took advantage of the time she had with him to make quite the confession, telling him that everything in their relationship was, quote, real and special, that she meant every word she had said, and that she still had feelings for him. When host Chris Harrison asked Brown and Cameron if they were serious about giving their relationship another shot, Brown said that she thought they needed to, quote, just be normal people and have a drink. Cameron echoed her sentiments, saying they'd take it one day at a time. Everyone enjoys a good love story, and fans of Brown's relationship with Cameron are convinced that the spark between these two is still burning brightly. One Bachelorette viewer tweeted in part, "Tyler is a superhero. He knows what love is and truly loves Hannah more than the chance of becoming the Bachelor." However, some fans are worried that Cameron's possible reconciliation with Brown might hurt his chances of becoming the next Bachelor. One fan tweeted, "Hannah asked Tyler on a date last night, so now I feel like it's awkward to make him Bachelor, but we'll see. He's definitely the obvious choice." Speaking with Ben Higgins and Ashley I on their Almost Famous podcast, Cameron revealed that he actually isn't too worried about losing out on the Bachelor gig and hasn't put much thought into it.
Just kind of taking it day by day and seeing what happens, and we'll have our drink and we'll see where it goes. But, if that's what deters me from being the Bachelor, then it's not meant to be.
Brown's Bachelorette season certainly introduced a bevy of eligible men who could be the next Bachelor, including Mike Johnson, Peter Weber, and, of course, Tyler Cameron. Considering Brown hasn't been shy about her feelings for Cameron following the After the Final Rose special, it's safe to say that the Bachelorette would rather see Johnson or Weber get the gig. However, she's prepared to support Cameron in whatever path he chooses. When asked how she'd feel if Cameron accepted the Bachelor role, Brown told Entertainment Tonight,
"I think it'd be a little hard to see him as the Bachelor because there's still feelings there, but I would support him in his happiness."
Interestingly enough, Cameron seemed to express similar feelings about the possibility of Brown being Bachelorette a second time. When Nick Viall mentioned on the Viall Files that he'd love to see another Bachelorette season with Brown at the helm, Cameron declined to comment. Silence speaks louder than words, and Cameron's silence seems to scream that he doesn't exactly love the idea of Brown dating yet another group of men. While the majority of Bachelorette fans were thrilled to see Brown take the first step in possibly rekindling her relationship with Cameron by asking him out for a drink, some viewers felt that Brown was treating Cameron as a backup plan. One fan tweeted, "Hannah does not deserve Tyler C. She does not get to choose someone else, get her heart broken, and then go back to him." However, the Florida native doesn't seem to feel slighted by the Bachelorette. In his interview on the Almost Famous podcast, host Ashley I asked Cameron if he felt like a backup plan or a fallback.
No. I mean, if anything, I still want to be in contact with Hannah. Even if she was still with Jed, I was still going to be their biggest supporters.
He added that he's excited to hang out with her now that she's single, and that even if they don't end up dating, he'd be happy to have her as a friend. Even the most casual Bachelorette viewers are likely well aware of Brown's iconic clapbacks to contestant Luke Parker after he seemingly shamed her for considering having premarital sex with contestants. When Parker refused to leave during their fantasy suite date, Brown knew what would get him mad enough to go. During the first night of the After the Final Rose special, Brown confessed that she and contestant Peter Weber had actually done the deed in the Windmill more times than we thought. The Bachelorette's off-the-cuff confession received applause from Weber's own parents. But how did Cameron feel about the revelation? He said on the Almost Famous podcast that he had no problem with it, calling her powerful for, quote, empowering women to feel free to speak about their sex lives. The day after fans witnessed his adorably nervous reunion with Brown during the After the Final Rose special, Cameron took to Instagram to post an open letter to the woman he fell in love with during his Bachelorette journey. He wrote in part, "I am so grateful for all the experiences that we shared together. You taught me so much about myself and pushed me to be a better man. I learned so much from you, and so did the rest of Bachelor Nation. You are what we all needed as a lead. You showed strength and grace in the most beautiful way. You kept it real and gave us all of you. As one chapter closes, another one begins. The world is yours, girl. Excited to see what you do with it. Looking forward to that drink." Brown responded with a sweet note of her own, writing, "I'm cheesin' hard. I'm really thankful for your love and support. You're the best, and I'm glad America thinks so too. And see you soon. Cheers." It sounds like these two are definitely looking forward to that drink, and it's safe to say the rest of Bachelor Nation is as well. We can't wait to see what comes of Hannah Brown's relationship with Tyler C. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more list videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.